the biggest thing I love to do is to tell stories. And, I'm not very much of a writer. I'm not, like, whatever. I love to read, I love to experience, make my own stories. It's why I really love making content because with all the story games I can play and do, I can kind of add my own little twist, change certain characters around. Like, the biggest example I can think of would be, like, Expedition 33, where I changed Gustav into Daredevil and Matt Murdock because, it's Charlie Cox who made it. Oh, voiced him, I meant. My apologies. But it is quite fun to do that. And if I'm not doing like a story with that or whatever, I don't get to fuel the creative side of me. Because another big example I have is on my ReaperVStemme account, my gaming channel. I have the weekly series of The Witcher 3 and Minecraft. Minecraft is more or less creating my own world. I can make that story whatever I want. And, the texture pack really helps with, aiming for more of a fantasy, more fantastical look to the world. And, everything I do always has to fall in line with that fantasy element. And I think it's really cool to do so. And the other one I mentioned with it currently being The Witcher 3, where at the end of last year, I got the bad ending to The Witcher 3, which I was kind of like, yeah, I didn't like that. But then at the start of January, for 3 weeks, I did a separate little game that I was able to finish within like the month to, revert the timeline, fix it and everything. And I think it is such a cool thing to do it like that. Because I guess that is one of my biggest strengths is the fact that I'm able to be I don't want to give myself a big, like, ego boost or anything, but be a good storyteller sometimes. There's a few things I'm like, I kind of look back and I go like, what the hell was I thinking? But for the most part, storytelling is always something anyone can do. You can make your own stories, whether or not you're good at it or not, a writer or not, I don't know, even a director, a programmer and everything. Because creating stories to me isn't about where the places you can go. It's more or less about the characters, the stories, the lessons, what happens, and all the events that change the characters. Either it'd be something really good and you can idolize them as like a figure, a role model or anything, or you can see how they descend downwards to something absolutely horrific and evil. Because one example I can tell you I have in my head right now would be like as an example of somebody good that went down to evil but eventually came back to the light side is Anakin Skywalker. With all the fear leads to hate, hate leads to anger, anger leads to the dark side, blah blah blah, whatever Yoda says. And with him eventually being with Palpatine, eventually fighting against Obi-Wan and turning on him and everyone he cared about, and becoming Darth Vader, realizing his own actions and nothing can change what he did, until Luke came along. And with the whole battle in front of the Emperor, where I'm a little fuzzy on that movie. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I may get this a little wrong. So Luke was about to be killed or something like that, so he picked up Palpatine, took all that lightning, threw him down the elevator shaft, and saved him. That right there is such a epic and cool moment with Darth Vader. I think it is, at least, but I guess to really wrap back, I love the storytell. There's nothing in this world I would give up to lose my storytelling abilities. Because you got so many games out there that tells your own story within a certain round, a game, or whatever. Because certain games like Helldivers 2 has an overarching story with it where, yes, all this needs to be done, but every individual game is kind of its own story. How you and your squad able to triumph through all these hurdles and everything, because there's a few of them I played on the way to Cyberstan where there's no way in hell we should have made it. There's no way in hell. But I don't really know what happened. I guess we all locked in, got our shit together, and, well, we extracted and we escaped. It was crazy. Because one of the biggest ones was when we were trying to extract, I had the Hell Bomb instead of the Warp Pack. And there's just enemies after enemies after enemies after enemies, like just waves upon waves of enemies down to Hulks to, I think there was about 2 Factory Striders at some point. It was wild. And you know, since I'm holding the Hell Bomb, I ran in, charged in, being like, you guys aren't gonna kill us, we're gonna leave. Planted the Hell Bomb a few times, ran away like a little wuss, and boom! And then another boom! Because I got 2 Hell Bombs that I used during this thing. And holy cow, it's so intense. It was like, come on guys, get up, we are leaving, we need to leave, get to the Pelican! But Helldivers 2 is such a great example of an individual story you could tell. Because I won't let you in my headcanon, which is totally not the case, but my character in here with the Leviathan of War has never died. Alright, you know, it's a very cool headcanon in me. I have about 500 deaths, so don't... Oh, it's pretty bad. 500 deaths? Yeah, I never died once. But yeah, I got about so many streams proving that I'm wrong, but it's part of the story. I like to say, you know, I haven't died, because I think it makes my character really cool and kind of more of an icon, being like, oh shit, he's here, he's gonna change the tide of the war, you know, something like that. Maybe not to the levels of John Helldiver. But then, after moving on from a game like that, you have your story games. All the games that you can learn lessons from. You can connect with these characters, get to experience these cool worlds that these developers made for you. Because besides all that, there's some lessons in here that, you know, a lot of bigger studios don't have. Because some of my personal favorite games happen to be story games. Like ones like Expedition 33. Now, I know I'm not to the end of that game yet, but it's a phenomenal game. I love a lot of aspects about the game right now. And I don't know the lessons right now because I am kind of working through Act 3 as I'm speaking. So I don't really know anything quite yet, but the biggest one I can think of that comes to my mind is Nier Automata. With that ending, you know, maybe a little bit of spoilers, maybe, I don't know, it depends if you played it, is that you have 2 opposites of characters. A2, she... I believe went rogue from Yorha and found that it wasn't worth it to do their bidding. So she kind of went on, did her own thing, and you know, there's like books to that series, and I'm a gamer, so I don't like to read. But yeah, there's like books about, you know, her backstory and everything, but her ending with 9S, where 9S loses everything, he's like, there's nothing worth living for, there's nothing on this earth for me, I don't care. And 8-2 has kind of more of a different approach where everything's beautiful and there's something worth fighting for. And I hope you can tell which one's my favorite character. I'm gonna have to save that for another video because I got a really cool idea I want to do with that one. So I think it's just a cool thought to have. So that's all I got for you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to hear from you again soon. Take care.